Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate 101. Welcome to a very exciting show and the very first episode of 2025. It's been a long time coming, and I'm in fact very excited to be here today to bring to you your beautiful program. Today, I'm going to share a very power-packed topic with you, and I'm sure you're going to love it. But before I go on, for those of you who are just tuning into this channel who wants to know what the program is all about, Real Estate 101 is a program where we talk about everything real estate, from you being a player in the industry to being a developer to being a router to wanting to know about documentation and governmental policies where it concerns real estate and properties. Then you are in the right place. So if you are just joining for the first time, I want you to quickly subscribe to our YouTube channel right now, and also do not forget to turn on your notification button for timely updates on our programs. Thank you and stay tuned. Now, today's topic is going to be centered around a very crucial issue on our social media, which is currently trending. Now, if you're familiar with Instablog and other social media, you would have been hearing about our notable Magoo banking experts who passed on in the name of the Wigways. Now, recently we've been hearing the tussle between the grandfather and the daughter over the late Magoo's property. Now, this has been so crucial that we had to look at it and say we need to talk about something that is centered around this, and this is what brought us to today's topic, which is focusing on succession plan and trust fund for your families and your loved ones. I am Tolulope Bukola Ige. Stay with me. Welcome back. As I was saying, we're going to be focusing on succession and trust fund. In the context of this discussion, succession will mean transfer of your estate or your properties from yourself to your loved ones. If, for instance, you're a business owner or your property owner, and you know that, okay, when I run out of a certain age, I would want to retire, you can have a plan to ensure that you transfer those businesses to your children. That's what we call succession in this context. And there are different ways of succession. There's what we call the will. The will is usually done as a legal document. Upon your demise, then your estate will be transferred to your loved ones or to the names of the beneficiaries you have listed. However, when you look at a trust is being managed by a board of trustees who ensures that your businesses run even when you're not there, without necessarily going through probate. So for today's context, we'll be talking about trust fund. What then is a trust fund? Now, a trust fund is you setting aside your property, your business, your estates that you own to a trust, to a board who would manage it. So regardless of whether you're around or you're not around, they continue to manage it and ensure that your beneficiaries whom you may have listed are taken care of. These beneficiaries may not necessarily be exposed to the entire public, unlike what you have with a will. For a will, the names are always read out, but for a trust fund, the managers continues to manage your business as if you are still there, even when you're not around. They continue to manage it and ensure that all your lifestyle, all your estates, your children, your businesses, your family, everything is being managed perfectly and taken care of. Now, a trust fund depends also on the kind of business and the kind of properties you hold. Sometimes in the context of Nigeria, for you to have a trust fund, you must be really considered wealthy. And for a trust fund, one of the benefits is that it can excuse you from paying heavy tax and save you from the troubles and hassles of going to probate. Like I said when I explained the will, if you, after your demise, if your family members would have to go to probate to ensure that they do certain transactions to go and file, and then also have to pay taxes on the so-called left estate you leave behind. This can be very cumbersome and be very difficult for them to attain, because without this, they cannot run that estate. And if care is not taken, the estate, the properties, and everything you're doing will dissipate. But with a trust fund, the managers can still carry on even in your absence. Even without you being dead, at your retirement, the trust fund managers can still carry on by continuing to manage those estates and ensuring that your loved ones and beneficiaries are well taken care of. Now, bringing it home back to the Wigwe family saga, it is very critical we really analyze this. Imagine the grandfather taking his granddaughter to court over a father's property. Now, thankfully, we are in the digital age where Wigwe, the late Wigwe, Abat Wigwe, has already worked on his family and his property. Thankfully, the court has now had to throw this matter out, saying that the young lady is already favored as a result of the trust fund. Now, thinking about it in my own perspective, this is looking like a taboo. How would you hear of it that my father will be grappling to get my property away from my own children? This is why I always advise people, when you know that you have property, you are building assets, you have something worthwhile, and you have children or loved ones that you want to protect, the ones that you want to take care of, it is important you start engaging the services of a financial expert, the services of an investment expert, the services of a legal counsel that will guide you aright. You need to protect. If someone like Wigwe, a man in his late 50s, could, wake up and just, die accidentally, not planned, not just himself, his wife, and even his first son could die at that time. Nobody expected it. If he could die, how much more a grandfather who is 90 years plus? What if the properties were actually transferred to this man and the next morning he wakes up or he dies? What then happens? The girl would then have to be grappling with the properties with her father's siblings, what was rightfully hers. But we thank God that Abat Wigwe was a smart man who was a financial expert, which also showcased in his plans for his children. She is able to get what is rightfully hers, and with the guidance of the people who were the trust holders, who were the members of the trustees, the board of trustees, she was able to stay on focus. We know before now in the African setting, families do not believe that the girl child is supposed to be a heir to the throne. Most times they believe that the girl child will be married off, and if she's married off, the properties will be taken over by the husbands, and this is why they want to take it off from her. But times are changing and we need to move quickly with the times. I've seen stories where people are wealthy, where they come from wealthy homes, and suddenly the father, dies maybe accidentally or through a brief illness, and the children from grace, they suddenly plummet to grass because family members who are more influential, they take over the property and they throw the actual owners of those properties out. Do not let this be your sad ending. You need to start acting fast. The moment you start securing properties, acquiring wealth, you need to start doing the needful. Now you're asking me, who should do this for me? Your legal counsel, your investment experts, your financial advisors. These are people you should reach out to. We as a company also, when we're selling property to you, we can also help you get in contact with the right set of people to do this. Oh, that's a very good question to ask. But personally for me, I would advise that you buy the property first in your name, which is the essence of having a trust, because we're talking about succession here. And in a succession, that means you have to first of all own it to be able to pass it on to somebody else. So it is best you have it in your name, especially when you have growing up children who are still considered to be minor, who are not of registrable age. Because if you buy property in the name of a minor, if anything does happen to you, you would have gone. The minor will not also be able to access that property. However, if the property was actually in your name and you have a trust on that property by your trust fund managers, the children can still benefit. They can still put up that property for sale to ensure that the children is being taken care of and their education are being taken care of. So this is why I always advise, it's always better sometimes buy it in your name where your children are still much younger. That is the essence of trust fund. So it is important, buy first in your name. Okay, and this brings us to the end of today's topic, which has been talking about succession and, of course, trust funds. So if you are that old man still living in your 70s, in your 80s, you need to wake up. Wake up and move with the tides. It is high time you woke up. Now, guys, I don't want it to be selfish. I'm sure you must have learned a lot from today's topic. I want you to share to your friends, to your family, to your loved ones, to everybody that you know this will be helpful to. Now, we're going to be going on to our next episode, which will be coming up next week, and which will be focusing on how to get property as a couple. If you are that couple who have been planning to get a property and you want to know how to go about this, be you a husband and a wife, or a boy and a girlfriend, you need to then stick around to watch this next topic. So I want to implore you, please turn on your notification button right now so that you can get timely updates from us. Thank you once again. I believe you've enjoyed the show. I'll see you around next time. Love you guys. Bye.